Everyone, so I wanted to start off by just explaining right now, this is a future video coming up and it's going to be a 90s tutorial. I don't want to give too much away, but that's why I look a little crazy. It'll make sense once you see it, but hopefully you can ignore this thing right here and we can just focus on each other. I've gotten quite a few requests since I began my channel a couple of years ago, or a little over a year ago, to talk a little more about depression, my struggles, and stuff like that. And I've written a few things on it, but I never talked about my tips. I talked about what I struggled with. I've talked a little bit in my coffee catch-ups about things like that, but I never really gave advice as to how I cope with it myself and how you could cope with it if you need some help. So I thought I would make a video about that. We're gonna go ahead and start with the basics, which is what causes depression. There are obviously a lot of factors that contribute to depression or to depression actually developing. Unless you've had it since an early age like me, there might be underlying biochemical or psychological issues that can predispose someone to depression. And of course, your doctor can help you rule out medical causes. They can help recommend counseling, psychotherapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy, and they can assess your medication, which I do actually take a very small dose of, but most of the work, all of my life, the medication is something recent. I've always done myself, and unless you struggle with suicidal depression like I do, then you hopefully won't need any medication if you follow these steps. Obviously, this isn't going to completely cure your depression. This is just going to really help, and once you take matters into your own hands and you stop just waiting around and sitting around for something to change or something to happen, then trust me, this could really improve your life. The first tip is probably one of the most important ones for me, which is a healthy diet. There are actually a lot of foods that help balance your system and can help fight depression, and on the other side there's also a lot of foods that can worsen your depression and can really bring you down mentally and physically. There are a lot of nutritional imbalances that can worsen depression, and I have some that I wrote down here. The essential fats, if you need more omega-3, your homocysteine level, is it too high? Can it be corrected with some B vitamins? Your serotonin levels, do they need boosting with amino acids? Blood sugar balance, is yours within the healthy range? Chromium, are you getting enough? Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, things like that. There's always some things that you can look to tweak and kind of, understand of your body a little more. And then there are some food intolerances like celiac disease that could be making you sad. I am gluten intolerant, and I noticed as soon as I started a more raw vegan diet, it really helped me, not just with my energy levels, but also with my depression. I felt a lot different and a lot better. If you have celiac disease, you have a more severe intolerance to gluten, and celiac disease was actually associated with an 80% risk for depression. But you can have mood symptoms relating to gluten even without celiac disease, so that's one thing that I really try to eliminate is like rice, carbs, a lot of that kind of stuff. I try to just have fruits, a lot of nutritional foods, obviously. I love my veggies, kale, spinach, stuff like that. When you eat healthy, you also have that inner confidence boost, and that can really help you as well. When you get energy from eating better, you're gonna get more motivation, which is obviously gonna boost your mood. There's other things like dairy that can actually make your skin way worse, and that's another thing that ties into feeling better when you look better. I don't mean in the superficial way. Obviously, when you have bad skin or when you're, a little insecure about yourself or for things like that, it really can bring you down, and it's not always about something, superficial. Like I said, you do need to work on yourself and not caring what others think, but sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. So if we see little improvements, even if our skin's not perfect, but if we see little improvements on our bodies, then we're really going to notice, and it's going to help us stay motivated to keep these changes in our lives. So like I said, little things like your skin, that's one thing that really helped me. I cut out all of the dairy products I was having before I went almost fully vegan. Dairy is like hormone central. Another thing like soda that has a lot of sugar can really affect you as well. And there's pretty much like a whole list of foods that you can eat that help with depression, and foods that you can avoid that hurt depression. So I highly suggest you guys look those up. I'm not going to go too deep into that, or else this video is going to be like hours long, but that's just one of my tips, is eating healthy, and it can really change how you feel about yourself and the way you look at the world, because you're going to enjoy eating more. I love making my salads, looking at this beautiful plate of fruits. I think it's one of those enjoyable experiences. You don't want to dislike eating or make it something that's like work. You don't want to deprive yourself, and you just don't want to make that another part of your day that you don't like. Obviously, you want eating to be something enjoyable. So I highly suggest you guys just pick up some foods that you enjoy. You will stop craving sugars, you'll stop craving carbs, you'll stop craving all these horrible things. And I'm obviously not 90 pounds. I'm not small by any means. I'm a curvy girl, but I eat healthy, and I couldn't care less if that means that I'm skinny or fat. All I care about is how I feel. Going along with eating healthy, exercise is also a huge thing that I'm working on myself. I used to exercise a lot, but I don't anymore. But even 30 minutes a day help me so much. Exercise is not about how you look. It's not about losing weight for me. It's about how you feel. It's about releasing your endorphins. It releases all those feel-good brain chemicals and really helps depression. It reduces immune system chemicals that can worsen your depression. And when your body temperature increases, it actually has calming effects. So if you have anxiety as well, it can help you with that too. You can even just relax and go walk around at a park or on the sidewalk. Enjoy the little things. Look at the freaking flowers around you, the plants. Enjoy the environment. Just be one with nature. And when you're exposed to light, it can actually also help increase your serotonin levels. So just walking outside shouldn't seem like a huge thing that would help you, but it really does, because every single factor is gonna help. If you can't, just step outside when it's dark, whatever, just go outside, walk, go do something and be active. Don't just lay in your bed, or else you will feel worse. And then this kind of goes along with my next tip, which is to develop a routine. When you have depression, you might know that sometimes the days kind of melt into each other, and you just don't feel like you're making your time that you have productive. When you make a routine for yourself, it can really help put everything into better perspective and keep your life a little more balanced, because depression can take that balance out of your life, and it can kind of create this chaos in your head that's really hard to clear. Even if they're small, always try to set goals for yourself throughout the day with this routine. It's just really going to help you feel like a little more proud of yourself. It's gonna help you feel more accomplished. If you balance your day a little better, you're gonna help balance your sleep patterns, which is a huge part of helping your depression. You need to get some sleep, because I know if you're like me, you have, depression can give you horrible insomnia, and it's hard to actually go to sleep. ASMR has been helping me a lot. If you don't know what it is, just look it up. It's a little weird, but if you get used to it, it's really cool. And there's little things like turning on the sound of rain, getting rid of all your distractions like your computer, your TV, all of that. Just curl in bed with some tea and a good book and just try to relax. Look forward to going to bed, and try to go to bed around the same time, because the earlier you go to bed, the more chance you're gonna have of actually going to bed at a decent time and waking up at a decent time. I know I'm not a morning person, but when I wake up early, I do feel better, and I try to make it a routine to wake up early, go in the kitchen, make myself a really healthy breakfast, things like that. It really does help start your day off on a good note, and then you're not going to feel like, oh, my day started off badly, this is just going to go downhill from here, and pick on every tiny little negative thing that happens throughout the day. And then obviously just try not to nap throughout the day. If you had like a long work day or something, go home and do something to prevent yourself from sleeping, and just keep yourself occupied. Have some hobbies, like enjoy your time with yourself. Even if you're alone, just enjoy the little things. And this goes into my next tip: live for yourself and treat yourself. This doesn't just mean things like retail therapy, which can help. Like treating yourself to something can be really nice, and it can help you feel good. But also little things like maybe have a bite of cheesecake at the end of the day. Give yourself some chocolate. Give yourself something you enjoy. If there's something you like that people might judge you for, just do it. Do it for yourself. Just do it with, a balance. Like I said, I think that's the one word I'm going to say a lot, is balance, because you just want to portion control. And that doesn't just mean with food. You want to portion control everything. Whatever you have, you can always have too much of something, so just balance it out. You have to reward yourself for being strong. You have to understand that you can feel proud of yourself for little things, because depression is a huge thing to have to overcome on your own. So you can't be too hard on yourself. You're not alone. You have to be proud of the little steps that you take, or else you're not going to feel motivated. Just because there aren't a lot of people out there that understand depression and that use the word very loosely, it doesn't mean that you have to feel ashamed of it at all. You want to always challenge your negative thoughts when you're treating yourself. I saw this really cute drawing, and it was like a really cute little creature that was labeled anxiety, and the girl kind of felt the anxiety coming on, so she grabbed it, the little creature, and hugged it. You kind of want to treat your anxiety like that and your depression like that, like something that is just a little part of you that's in the background that you can just grab and make it feel better on your own. Never ever ever live your life for someone else, because you're only going to attract a toxic environment for yourself if you do that. You don't want to attract something that is not something that you want, obviously. So if you put out something fake, you're going to get something fake in return, and you're going to be miserable. The judgments people give you are never going to matter as good as how you feel about yourself. And you also want to do something new whenever you reward yourself. Do something different. I have a quote here, and it says, "When we challenge ourselves to do something different, there are chemical changes in the brain. Trying something new alters the levels of dopamine, which is associated with pleasure, enjoyment, and learning." Forgive yourself, do something different, avoid fictional and real drama, and just keep positive influences around you. Just like I said, live for yourself and treat yourself, and there are so many ways that you can do this. One of the little things that I do is I keep my room decorated in a way that makes me really happy. Everything around me is always, you know, as positive as I can make it. I change my room decor all the time just because I might feel inspired by something one day and by something else the next. My little DIYs, that all really helps keep my entire space something that is mine and something that's peaceful. And when it comes to living for yourself, another big tip that I'm going to give you guys, and this is probably one of the biggest ones if you're in your 20s like me, don't ever compare yourself to someone else. Now, being a judgmental person toward other people can be bad enough, but being judgmental toward yourself can sometimes be even worse. When you compare yourself to someone else, it's only gonna make you lose perspective of who you are. If you're married with kids, that's fucking awesome. If you're single and you still work a retail job, that's fucking awesome. If you're just working towards something that's gonna make you happy, or you're already happy, then fuck what everyone else thinks. You don't have to be some hotshot working a six-figure job to feel as if you're up to par or as if you've accomplished something. And if you happen to meet someone from your past that is successful, don't lower your self-worth and compare yourself to them. They could be needing perspective just like you, and they could be miserable, or they could be happy, but either way, be happy for them and for yourself. The only thing that's unacceptable with all these situations is the shame that our culture inflicts on us and what our lives should be like. Just remember, you're two different people with different goals, different objectives, and comparing yourselves is not going to get you anywhere. Some people can be 100% content working a shitty job or what others think is a shitty job and living a quaint life. And others might be happier chasing that six-figure job or just having their own little family. And we shouldn't feel as if that's any less acceptable, and we are not the right person to judge what they're doing or judge yourself for not doing the same thing. Just be happy being who you want to be, as corny as that sounds. Don't rush yourself into pursuing something you might not really want in the end, and just respect the differences of quality and satisfaction. We would not just be happier with ourselves, but we would be happier with each other. And then my last tip is something that's a little silly, but it is just to smile. There's a huge chance that smiling can completely improve your day, and I know how weird that sounds, but it's not just the physical act of smiling, it's just the positivity around you as well. And it actually stimulates your immune system by helping you relax. There's evidence that your blood pressure can decrease when you smile, and it releases endorphins, which are natural pain relievers, along with serotonin, which obviously has its own feel-good properties. So smiling can help with your own day, with someone else's day, with how you're feeling. It can really help all around. So my battery's about to die, but I hope these tips helped you guys some. I know they were kind of scattered and all over the place. Just remember that you're not alone. Remember that depression is not something to be ashamed of. It's something that you can help yourself with. I know every person's case is different. Not everything is going to work for everybody. These are just my personal tips, what helps me, and you know, you can always tweak them to help yourself, to make yourself happy regardless of what that might be. Just find what does make you happy. Find the little things that you can tweak in your life that you can take more control of. And once you feel like you're more in control, your motivation is gonna really increase, your mood levels will increase, and you will feel a lot better about life. I'm not someone to take things for granted, and I always give people the benefit of the doubt because you never know what someone's struggling with inside, even though they look completely happy. So do the same for everybody else. If someone's really pissed and they're coming at you in a bad way, switch that around into something positive. Think that maybe they're struggling with something that they're not showing you. Just always try to make the world a happier place and not bring everybody else down the way they bring you down, and you're gonna really love your life more once you focus on yourself and not on everything around you that's negative. Tiny little positive things can really help, and I really have a lot of confidence that you guys can get through this. I'll try to make a better video in the future about this, but I just wanted to make a quick kind of advice video and just a casual one-on-one. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any requests, as usual, leave them below. There is a makeup collab coming soon, as you can tell, and I have some other things that I am working on as well, so I hope you guys will enjoy it. I have been updating my blog, so if you want to keep up with me, I'm there and on Instagram, and I have a Facebook page, all that good stuff, so I always link it below. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Bye!